The following is a podcast meant for adults and discuss things like sexual content and alcohol use. Listener discretion is advised.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is the Drunk Texting Podcast, a podcast where we have some drink, talk some mess, and we have some fun and get you through your thirsty third day as we can. We are shaking things up, as you guys can probably tell, because I'm on the left side this time and not the right side. So this is going to be weird having to try to point it. But my name is JB, and I am joined, as always, by my co-hostess, with the ma-hostess, who doesn't have her adjective ready. I know she doesn't. But please tell the people who you are and what adjective describes you today.
Let's find it, shall we?
Oh my Lord. Not doing it live. Not we gonna do it live.
Yeah.
Not we gonna do it live.
Okay.
She said we're gonna do it live.
Because it's live, I'm going with the first one since it was live.
Okay.
I don't agree with it, but
I don't agree with it.
I don't. Like it doesn't I don't agree with it, but
you still gonna go with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, I am and I swear I shit you not, teeny tiny. You think I swear on everything, bro. Teeny, I can't see it. The teeny tiny.
There it is. Tiny. Wow, that's crazy. That's
teeny
crazy.
Tiny.
Teeny tiny.
Personally can. I mean, you can make my box smaller, so I am teeny tiny.
I'm not doing that. That's a lot of extra editing. I'm not editing your box to be teeny tiny.
Just give me a little small character.
Maybe we'll have to see. We'll have to see depending on how I'm feeling. But
I'll just find a stick figure and put my stick figure right there.
Oh my Lord! We're not doing that either. We're not dropping.
I already have a stick figure of me.
We are not dropping the quality of this podcast even lower than it already is. Okay.
Don't worry. My stick figure is gonna be nothing but high quality, college level.
It's a stick figure. What are you talking about?
It's not a full stick figure.
Lord have mercy.
It's got a shirt.
Man, we're gonna get into today's episode. Before we do get into today's episode, though, please remember, we say it always, we made it always. Always drink responsibly. Never drink and drive. Sometimes drink and text. With that being said, we're actually going to get into what we're drinking tonight. I got one of my favorite cups. My wife got it for me. Had a bunch of little curse words on it, but you can't read them unless you're really up close to it, and that's why I love it. I take it to work with me all the time. I am drinking a mixture of vodka, cran mango, and Sprite.
It's the era of the illegitimate grandchildren.
Don't do that.
Illegitimate grandchildren. We gotta try all the illegitimate.
Lord have mercy.
Ocean Spray. Listen, Ocean Spray. Ocean Spray. Just let me know all your illegitimate grandchildren. Not your grandchildren, your grandchildren.
Lord have mercy. The illegitimate grandchildren.
Yeah, the grandchildren.
That would be wild if that was our actual first sponsor, was Ocean Spray, and they sent us a case with every cran juice that they had.
And I would drink it religiously.
No, they would. But the thing is, they would have to send us both our own individual case. So, like, you would get a case of all the crayons, I would get a case.
I'll drink it.
That's funny. I'll drink it.
No hesitation.
That's funny.
Good for the body.
Maybe we'll have to see. But yeah, what are you drinking on tonight, Miss?
I'm drinking on some good. A recent creation. It's in this big bottle because I've been sipping on it kind of all day.
Lord.
Don't worry about it.
Lord.
It is Hennessy, grapefruit juice, and ginger ale.
You had me at Hennessy. I ain't even gonna cap.
Dude, it's a combination that I thought that's should not go work.
Do you know how many great?
Heavy.
And if we ever do a part 2 of our college days video,
we will.
The amount of like good nights that started with Hennessy, like okay, so on my Snapchat, I want to say in like 2019, I had a bottle of Hennessy. And the running joke that me and some of my friends had was that Hennessy always brought out the freak nasty side of us.
Oh yeah,
So
make it freaky.
this
Anything
was
is possible.
exactly anything is possible with Hennessy. So I remember one night, 2019, it was fall. I was single. And so I had the Hennessy and I took a picture of it on my Snapchat. But the way I edited the picture, so that way instead of saying Hennessy, it said pregnancy.
Ooh,
And I was like, who trying to get some of this with me tonight? And the
that
way that my Snapchat blew up that night, they were like, no, sir. No, sir. You are not allowed to do this. Stop it
you
right
wildin'.
now. You stop that
It's extreme
right now.
violence.
We are taking your drinking privileges away. Stop it.
That
And I was like,
fucking
no, because if you will allow me to have Hennessy, you will understand why Hennessy is the great instigator of a great night.
yeah.
Listen, and I
This is
say this,
good.
I say this. I don't know how far into the episode we are, so hopefully we won't get demonetized for me saying this. But Hennessy is the type of drink that I have me having you upside down off the side of the bed, wondering what I'm doing at 3 a.m. Like that's the type of energy I be on at 3 a.m. when I'm off the Hennessy. Like
I mean,
that's look,
it's Hennessy. It's a good night.
and it's
If
a
somebody
great
got a
night.
bottle of Henny, it's a good night.
It's a great night. Hennessy is the great drink of let's have a good night and let's show you what the Henny can do.
Let's get down to
Look,
it.
look, Hennessy was doing what they say Casamigo be doing to these guys before
It ain't
Casamigo was
doing.
even a thing.
Casamigos ain't doing
Listen,
nothing.
hold on. Let me look back. When was Hennessy created? That's what, because
When was Tennessee created? It's gotta
Hennessy
be
was made. Let's see.
the Hennessy.
Okay, so Hennessy was founded in 1765, and the first shipment of Hennessy cognac arrived in New York in 1794. So that means not only were our grandparents getting down off that Hennessy, our great great grands were getting down off that Hennessy.
Founding fathers were getting down on
The
oh,
founding fathers was getting off on that yak,
no.
bro.
But do you think Alexander Hamilton was getting
Bro, what you
loose
think?
off that Henny with Maria?
Yes, yes. That's when Mariah Reynolds walked into his life and he was gone off that Henny and he showed her, look, a man of honor was not there when he was off that yak
No,
with Miss Mariah Reynolds. Like,
no, absolutely not.
look, he was probably off that yak. Let's see, he was probably off that yak talking to Elizabeth, not Elizabeth.
A lot. Angelica.
Yes. He was probably off that yak the first night he was talking to her. Nah, that wouldn't have worked out because they said 1794, so that would have been before. But
No, they worked out. They'd be fine.
look, they was off something.
Right, he talked sideways to Bird left and right. He was on something.
Listen,
He said, meet me in
he
Soundsboro.
said he said
He's like,
meet
let's go.
meet me in the barn. I know a nice spot,
Right, he said, nobody likes you, bro. He was bold with it. He said, nobody like you.
bro. I read like going back and rereading the actual letters that they wrote back and forth to each other. I was like, oh, Alexander Hamilton wanted to get shot. Like
He really
like
did.
the responses that he gave to Aaron Burr were like legitimately like, if you got a problem, do something there.
Pull up.
They
He
were
said, pull
they
up.
like they all boiled down to, if you got a problem, do something. Like, don't just sit here and accuse me of shit. If you got a
He
problem,
said, be about
do
it.
it. And that's really what
Yeah.
he was saying the whole time. And I'm like, damn, you
So
just wanted to get shot. That's all that was.
good to know Alexander Hamilton basically said,
Man, I
step to
still
it.
I still to this day I want to visit the graves of some of the founding fathers, and like and it's only because TikTok has been showing me different TikToks of people that were like, oh, of course I had to go drag my family to go see the graves of the people in Hamilton. Like,
I would. They
same.
wouldn't go with me. They told me to go by myself.
That's
I'll try.
bogus. That's bogus. I
You
look
don't
if we
care
all
about listen.
if you and I and our significant others all went up there, we would all go together. Then when we
Where
went
are
to
they?
there, I think they're in New York.
Yo, we can make that happen.
Yeah, I think they're all in New York. Um,
Bet.
let's see.
Cause where's Trinity
Yeah, it's
Church?
Trinity Cemetery. Uh, where is that though? Come on, don't.
They
Let's see.
are
New Jersey. Wait, no, wait. Downtown Manhattan.
okay.
Downtown Manhattan.
Oh, they say like the bones.
I mean,
Philip.
that's. I mean, to be fair, I
I
wonder.
mean, Philip was slick about it too.
So what?
Philip literally said, "Meet me." Philip said, "Meet me outside."
Yeah, Philip was.
He said, "Meet me outside." You was talking mess. Meet me outside. Let's
Philip
go.
was
I mean, yeah, he
absolutely
lost,
like
but
that.
he was standing on that.
Hey, you're not going to just do me like that.
Like you ran up on me. He ran up on him. He trying to watch a show,
Right. He was
and you
like,
gonna run up on me like, man, I'm trying to watch TV. Shut up.
he
He
was
like,
like, he
no,
was like,
nah.
hey,
You
hey,
can't.
hey, you were talking about my daddy. I ain't finna
He
let
like,
that
come on.
slide. I ain't finna let that
He like,
slide.
let's go. He said, man, I'm gonna finish my show. Then I'm gonna come in there and I'm gonna whoop your ass, and I'm gonna come back to my show.
And
Like
he
that's all.
he actually did it, and that's the crazy part.
And did.
And
And
so
that's so
it's
funny.
it's funny we talk about that because I saw a TikTok right before we got on, and it was a rap battle, and and hold on, it was in the rap battle, and in the rap battle the guy was like, oh yeah, and his mom is dead. I found out where she was buried and put up a picture of the mom's grave on the projector, and I was like, and it was a stitch because the guy that like reacted to him was like, and if I killed him, his children, his grandchildren, and everybody else in his family, then I'd be going too far. I'd be the
Right. You
bad
don't.
guy. And it's like, and I'm just like, to be fair, and I say this, having understanding that I'm not a battle rapper and I wouldn't be able to do the battle rap thing. If I were in that situation, no. The moment I look up and I see my mom's grave on the screen, I'm putting two on you right there. Pow pow. Immediate. I'm not
It's
like
you're laid out.
I'm not letting you finish your rap at that point, because at that point you have let me know that you are willing to die behind this.
Right. You went that far to be that bold. Be prepared to die and stand on that.
Because you know how much extensive research you would have to go to not only one find out where that she had passed, but then find out
Right.
where she was buried, then go to where she was buried and take a picture of the grave. Nah, fam, you're done. That's like
You're very much deceased.
that other guy in Europe that so he got into an argument with some girl online, found out that the girl's dad was like had like cancer and was receiving treatments or whatever, and went to the hospital and took a selfie with
Yeah,
the
I
dad
seen
in
that.
the fucking bed
I
and
saw
sent
that.
it to her. The way the police would not have had a chance to arrest him because he would be dead. That is a line that I'm like, nah. I'm
He's gonna be
I'm
the next one in the bed. He gonna be
right.
next door.
Like, because for me it's like you can say talk about whatever when it comes to me. When it comes to me, say whatever, talk whatever, whatever. Don't involve my mom, don't involve my dad, don't involve my sibling, don't involve my grandparents, do not involve my fucking wife. Because I will go mental. Because at the end of the day, in the back of my mind, I don't have anything left to give if I cannot protect them.
That's fair.
So you cross the line with any of them, there is no being on this planet or the next that would stop me from hurting you.
I'm ending you in this lifetime and the next. You gotta come back in 2 lifetimes.
Nah, I'm the type of person that depending on what you did to them, I'm not going to just hurt you. I'm not going to get rid of you. I'm going to specifically make sure that you will never be able to live the rest of your life the same way. I'm the first time I'm breaking your kneecap. Just one. I'm just breaking one kneecap.
Just
Then
one
once you
kneecap.
then once you heal from it, I'm hitting you with a car. Then
Oh,
once you heal from that, I'm hitting you with a truck. Then once
you
you
got me
heal
18-wheeler.
from that, I'm gonna find you in the hospital. I'm dumping you out of the hospital bed, and then I'm gonna break your left pinky.
Ow.
Then when you heal from that, I will make sure that every meal you eat has triple the amount of salt that it should have.
Well, I knew you was gonna say salt.
And I'm gonna make sure if you have and don't let me find out you have a peanut allergy.
Bro.
Because I promise you, every time I see you, peanut butter on my fist. Mm, peanut butter on my fist. And once I get in a few good licks, especially if I knock you out, I'm taking some peanut butter and putting it in your mouth.
Oh my god.
I'm because you crossed that line. At that point, you no. Cause
That is you being that's
listen,
overkill, my
listen,
guy.
listen. You crossed the line. What did Kendrick Lamar say earlier this year? You taking it there, I'm taking it further.
Fair.
So if you take it there, understand. I don't give a fuck. I'll go to prison behind them. I will. I've already admitted it. I've admitted that to my wife and a couple of my siblings. I'm willing to go to prison behind some of them. I really am. Will smile at my
So
mugshot and everything. Like,
I hate it.
do not test me. Oh my gosh. I do it. I swear. I swear on everything. I do it. And will not feel bad. Bless you.
Hey,
And will not feel bad. But all of that, we did a lot of preamble in there.
all that to say,
We're
you're the
going to
bad.
get into our first section of today's episode, our first official section, because we have a script this week. We do. We're not just talking about our college days. The
Let's tie it back to the college. Did BSU win?
I'm fairly positive. In fact, I know for a fact because I asked somebody that was there. Valdosta State did win. They are
All right, yeah.
undefeated still.
Fuck
Still
yeah.
undefeated. We love that for
Period.
them.
We
In
do.
fact, I'm about to pull it up right now. They beat who did they
Who do they
beat?
beat?
Who did they beat?
What
I
was
don't
the
even
score?
some irrelevant team.
Eh.
Mississippi College. They beat them 35-10.
Ooh, that. All right. Go Blazers.
Ooh, ooh.
Go
I'm
Blazers.
looking back at some of their other scores. They beat one team 59-6.
Yo, who did they lay out like that?
Oh my God, it's even worse. Shorter. Short. I think it's like Shorter University. Yo, they beat
Shorter.
another team. They beat another team. Listen to this. Erskine College. You want to guess what the score was?
Was in the 40s,
Oh, it's higher than that.
60s,
Higher than 60s.
70s.
The final score was 73-0.
Yo, that was a blowout. I'm not even.
That
Who
was
did they? Who
that was a
did they?
mauling.
That was lit. That was brutal. That
They
other team was pissed. I know they was.
they torched the school, pun intended,
I
because of the Blazers.
now that I would have paid them little. I would have paid my little money to see that game just to see the other team be mad as all get out.
Boy, what? I would have loved to see them getting hot with anger because the Blazers treated them that way. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I didn't expect the rim shot to make it that much funnier. Wait. Oh. Oh my gosh. The rim shot made it funnier. I don't know what it was about the rim shot made that much funnier to me. Oh my goodness. Oh.
I'll give you that.
Oh.
Let's get back on track though.
Call me Billie Eilish because I am the bad guy when it comes to puns. Speaking of bad guys, we're going to get into our first section this time for real, which is our question of the week. And our question of the week, via Reddit, when in your life has everyone thought you were the bad guy, but you weren't? Now this first one, I feel like this one's very specific, But I also feel like a lot of people get this one. So I'm going to read it here. When I cut off my mom, she was a covert narcissist, and I just couldn't handle her anymore. Not if I wanted to be a good wife and mother myself. So I chose to go no contact, and I'm currently on extremely low contact, as in one text message thread per year. She's a very Saskatchewan woman. Perfectly sweet in public, aside from a few Karen behaviors, and behind closed doors, she's ruthless. From the outside, I look like a petty daughter who got married and deprived her of, quote, her grandchildren. That right there, and I'm going to say this right here, and I mean this, if cutting somebody off is doing something for your own benefit, cut them off. If you have gotten to the point to where you have to make that decision, it's already too late. You need to cut them off.
Yeah.
If you at any point are like, maybe I need to cut them off, maybe I need to go no contact with them anymore, you're already at that point where it's too late. You should have already done it.
Yeah, 100%.
And on the flip side of that, because I've been thinking about this a lot because I've seen this happen a couple times. If somebody chooses to if you choose to go no contact with somebody, if you decide to contact them again after you go no contact with them, don't be surprised or hurt if they decide they don't want to talk to you anymore. And the reason I say that is because I saw a Reddit story on TikTok. They did like the little Reddit story on TikTok, whatever. And it was basically about a dad who, I can't remember the specifics. I think like the mom accused him of cheating or something. Something happened some kind of way. Him and the wife got divorced. The wife painted him as the bad guy to the daughter, and she chose to go no contact after a few years. Then come like so many years later, I'm like, it's a bunch of years later. It's like 12 or something years later. She reaches out to him she has a kid now, she's married, and she's just like, I want to rebuild, I want to reconnect, I want to do da 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 da. And he's like, I don't want to. I don't. You made your decision. You chose to go no contact. You listen to your mom. I have no feelings anymore. Like, I wanted to reach out to you. I tried those first few years. You would not contact me. You would not talk to me. I have no right. I don't want to. Granted, I will say Reddit convinced him to do it, but he was like, look, and he came back and was like, even after I met up with her, I met her husband, I met her kid, I still have no, like, I do feel better now that I've gotten a chance to meet them, but I still don't want a relationship with them. In fact, me and my sister are about to move back to my parents' homeland, to the house that they used to own, but put in our name. We're going to live the rest of our lives out there.
That's fair.
And it's like, what can you do?
It's
all on him. He did that. It is what it is. I think that it was the right thing for him to do, for him and his own mental health. So it is what it is. Going into the next one, it works out. During divorce, I chose not to say all the things she had said. I chose not to say all the things she had said and done to me. That was private. She came up with every little thing she could. I lost friends because of it, but honestly, I'd rather lose people than keep anyone who'd think I'd ever do the things she said. So at that point, that sounds like the type of person that, like, because when some people get divorced, they're like, you've probably heard the stories where like, oh, they get into a divorce and then the one that's clearly in the wrong tries to play the victim and be like, oh, he was so abusive. Oh, she was so manipulative. Oh, all she did was try to take my money. Oh, all he did was just use me and yada, yada, yada. And it's like, when in all actuality, no, you were the bad guy. You were the one that you abused him. You treated him wrong. And now that he's standing up for himself, now that she's standing up for herself, now you're trying to paint them as the bad guy, but when in all actuality, you were like the bad guy. Yeah, that's oh man, that's a bad one. The next one. My first relationship. She had diagnosed BPD, bipolar disorder. But if you Google narcissistic trait, you could mentally tick each one off. Nasty combination. When I broke up with her, people I once got along with started giving me dirty looks, and one And it only got worse. She was in the background lying about me to make herself feel better. All I did was leave an abusive relationship, but I quickly found out I had no friends afterwards. See, I ain't gonna lie. At that point I wouldn't even, you know. I feel like this one a lot of people are gonna agree with. When I stopped saying yes for everything that my family and relatives asked me.
Mm.
That's a
People
good one.
pleasing behaviors. Let them go. Cut the people pleasing.
Yep. I think this one's gonna be the last one, and then we'll kind of move on a little bit. I'm going through it right now. A guy at my last job hated my guts. I got on really well with everyone else, but he managed to turn everyone against me just before I left. No one will even tell me what I'm supposed to have done wrong. Just blocked and stonewalled by all these people I thought were my friends. Now they're still friends with him, despite the fact they all used to say they knew he was a bully. So yeah, that sucks.
Mm.
Uh,
Dang.
yeah,
Sounds like
that's a trashy situation. To
culture,
be
man.
fair, I wouldn't try to still be friends. Like, and I say that, and I say what I'm about to say now, knowing that I do still have friends from past jobs. There are
Mm.
some people that you can only be friends with in a work capacity. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
100%.
they're friends, but it's only because we work together. It's only because we're in this capacity damn near every single day for 8 hours a day.
All right, let me at least talk to you.
Right.
Conversation.
I have some people that I'm friends with that go back all the way to my Route 21 days. That I'm still friends with. One of them, I joke with her all the time because this is a long standing joke from even back when we worked at Route 21. She would like post selfies, and I'd be like, "Go to bed, go to bed." Like she would post selfies of her, and she was like, "Why do I gotta go to bed?" And I'm just like, "You're too attractive. Go to bed. Go to bed."
Go
These
to
these these
bed.
these ashy lipped Negroes out here are going to, and then I just lick my lips. It's because I said it, and I was just like, wait, let me double check. But
I can't.
and I always used to joke with her because she would always tell me about how there would always be these random guys that were the stereotypical like no, up to no good type guys
Mm.
that like would randomly like try to hit her up to be like, "Ooh, you so attractive, you so da 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 da." So that's why the running joke became, "Go to bed. You're too attractive. These guys are gonna end up in your DMs again. You better stop." And
Go to
that has become the running joke. But like, she's still somebody I would consider a friend. Like if I ever just happened to be down in Valdosta again and I ran into her, I would stop and like have a conversation with her, or like let's say like I knew we were both gonna be about Austin. Like, oh yeah, hey, you want to like go to Big Nick's or something? Like
right.
I would because she was somebody that like when we worked at Route 21, she was one of the only people that I actually fucked with. Like truthfully,
That's,
like out of all
that's
the
fair.
people that like I was friendly with everybody there, but she
You
was
can
one
be
of the only
friendly, but
ones.
you ain't gotta talk to everybody.
Right. More people like people that I worked with at the news station. There's one in particular. He listens to the podcast. He's one of them that absolutely 100% he's a friend. We gotta meet up eventually because he invites me to come out with him and his wife. He invites me and my wife and him and his
Yeah.
wife, and he invites us out. Is the I
Oh,
will
hey,
say the
take
only
your
thing is
children.
like most of the time, especially with Gabby having to work her second job,
Mm.
like some Saturdays when they invite us out, it's just like, well, Gabby's working. I'm at a wrestling show. I'm sorry, bro. And so it just the timing doesn't work out.
They
But
gotta plan that out like 2, 3 weeks in advance.
at
Sorry,
the
handle
end of
that.
the day, he's still a friend. He comments on the podcast a lot. He, we've talked about it.
I love that.
In the back of the IHOP, I swear.
In
Um,
the back of the IHOP.
it is a tragedy. Or was it a Denny's? One of the two. Uh,
Some scandalous eating facility.
right. But yeah, like it. I think that there are some situations where you can be friends with people, and then after you leave, you can continue to be friends with them. I have a few of them. The ones that do stick around and continue to be friends with you, those are the ones that you know, okay, like, yeah, we were more than just work acquaintances.
Right. Like I have one. We're not as close as we used to be, but we used back in the Waffle House days. It was me and her rocking it out overnight, and now
Y'all used to be jumping people in the parking lot. That's what that was, wasn't it?
no, we used to be playing. We used to be playing customers in Uno for free waffles. Thank you.
wait, wait, wait. Wait, hold on. Before I even no, we're gonna put a pin in that because we're gonna come back to that before we even go on to our next section. We're gonna put a pin in that one. Okay, but before we get into that, wow, I was gonna say I do have a situation where I don't think that everybody thought I was the bad guy, but there was definitely like a large, not large, but there was a decent sized group of people that saw me as the bad guy in a situation. And I feel like you already know what the situation. I feel like you already know because I've kind of mentioned it on the podcast before.
Possibly.
When me and Gabby
Yep.
when me and Gabby first
Yeah.
started talking, and we were
Yeah.
like, we weren't really dating yet.
Y'all was talking.
We were talking. We weren't dating. We were talking, and we hadn't officially gotten a boyfriend and girlfriend status
Right.
yet. And just because of how things shook out with
Yeah.
everything going on, I'm not gonna call name.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna name names because I'm not gonna give him
We ain't
that
gonna
amount
do
of
it.
power.
We're not gonna do it.
But
Don't do it.
like I know for a fact that there were some people behind him that saw me as a bad guy because of everything. When in all actuality, and I'll explain my side of the story till I'm purple in the face. I genuinely did not realize that that was her ex. That he was her ex. I didn't
I
because
mean,
I had never put two and two together. Yes, I had seen them together before, but because
mm,
she never talked to me while they were together, I never made like
mm,
a
you
like
didn't
I
make the connection.
yeah, so like I didn't even recognize her face until well after, and we started talking about like different times we had seen each other and like different times we had crossed paths, and we were like, well, I'll be damned, you have been around here this whole time. That's crazy. Like, dude, genuinely though, because like I've told you about the picture that she took of Davina, and I'm standing in the background,
Yeah.
and like that was well before we had even met,
That's so funny.
and it's like we literally like talk back to our VSU days, and we're just like, dang, we really were basically right here with each other the whole time, and we did not
Mm,
know it.
didn't know a
Which
thing.
which I 100% like will say that I think that continues to confirm the whole like twin flame, people are meant for each other. Like,
I would have said the invisible string theory.
yes, that like that 100%, like it continues to drive that home that like
Yeah.
you have that invisible string attached to somebody. But like I think that's so, because I think it's so crazy how literally my last like 2 years at VSU, I basically like almost every significant moment I can think of, either she was there or she was like in passing, or like
Yeah.
we saw each other but we didn't realize that it was each other, and then
Right.
everything just shook out the way it did, and now here we are almost 5 years later, married and like
Mary, no.
married and all, married and all, and I love her. I love her to death. You know, we just celebrated our 1 year anniversary. So not this Monday that just passed, which is the 21st, but the 14th. That was our 1 year anniversary. We finally took the cake topper out of the freezer, and when I tell you right now, I'm still mad. I'm still mad we didn't get that much of that cake.
Oh.
Bro, after the fucking wedding, we didn't get that much cake. Like the remainder of the cake, which included the cake topper, ended up with her mom. So after we got back from the wedding, we ended up having to go to her mom's house to get the cake topper. She had to wrap the cake topper, but then like there was like half a pan left of the cake that was left from the bottom two layers, and we were like, bro, we didn't get half a shit. We really didn't get half.
I didn't get any of y'all cake.
Dang.
I didn't get none. I was like, I saw y'all cut it, but I was like, dang.
Bro,
Mine was way later. I never got any cake.
another story from the wedding. That knife that we used to cut the cake was flimsy in a motherfucker. Like the knife was loose from the handle, so our slice of cake was
Oh,
crooked. Like the shit was,
yes, boo.
bro, it was
I,
crooked in a motherfucker. That shit was so funny. It was so funny though. 'Cause like I was like like we were trying to like cut through it, and like the shit
just
was
saw
like
through it.
it was like wiggling. It was so funny. I have to admit though, I I cried when I rewatched because I cut up some of the wedding video for a post on Instagram, and rewatching it, like I cried again. I was just like, like and what made it worse is that like I was doing it at work. Like I was on my lunch break at work, like cutting it up, and like I'm sitting here at my desk, and I'm just like, bro,
It's so sweet.
it's like damn,
People always cry at weddings.
like she was so beautiful, bro. Can you believe that my dad really laughed at me for that?
That's
He
hilarious.
was he was like bro, he was crying before he even turned around. I was just like, and I was, because I was so happy and excited to see my beautiful wife. I was like, you didn't cry, did you? I bet you did. I bet you cried. And he was just like, and look. Then I was like, I saw you crying at my wedding. He was like, I didn't start crying until you started crying. I said, and you started crying, so I don't want to hear nothing from you, sir.
That that part heavy on that.
Like you started crying because I was crying, but that don't negate the fact that you was crying.
Say it again.
He was crying, my mama was crying, my siblings were crying, my cousin was crying, her mama was crying. Her mom was crying. I feel like her mom was crying before she even started walking down the aisle.
I'm have
Like
been crying for like a week, bruh.
her mama was crying and
She was crying at the freaking bridal shower.
crying at the bridal shower, crying at the freaking at the rehearsal dinner.
Yes,
Man,
but we love her though. We
we
love her.
we, we love her. Man. Whew. I
Funny
I still got
time.
to go back and relook through those pictures from the rehearsal dinner because I feel like I missed, even though I was there, but like I feel like I missed it because everything was just everything was happening. Everything was happening.
There's lots of going on.
It was a lot of stuff going on. And one word of advice I'll give you before your wedding: when y'all get to wedding day, after y'all say I do, after y'all do the kiss and y'all walk down the aisle, from that moment on until the end of the night, stay next to each other. Do not let anybody separate the two of y'all. For two reasons. The first is so that way you both have the same memory of what happened that night. Everything that y'all see, everything that y'all experience, you both experience the same thing. And the
Yeah.
second reason is so that way you two will not nobody will be able to corner one or the other to try to like bombard y'all for pictures and videos and oh you look so pretty, you look so beautiful. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's like be together. That's why I'm so happy that our table was where our table was. So that way if you wanted to say something, you had to come to us. Like
Right.
we and don't get me wrong, we did go to a couple people. There were a few people we did go to. But like y'all had to come to us. We was sitting there, we was trying to eat. I was hungry.
As you should.
All that alcohol, we done drunk them damn mojitos, them strong ass watermelon mojitos.
I ain't
God,
have not a one.
and you should have, boy. Them things was
I shouldn't. I don't like watermelon.
and uh, we got to make a running list at this point. At this point, we got to make a running list. I swear, we got to make a running list because oh my gosh, I'm not gonna say I eat watermelon every single time it comes around, but I'll stop and take a piece if it's like a fruit plate or a fruit tray or something.
I
Ah,
you know what I hear? Uncle, the voice of Uncle Ruckus in my ear.
stop, stop it, stop. you know his voice actor still does the voice at like different conventions and stuff, and
And I
like
love that for him.
notable black people will come up to him and will do videos with him. It was so funny. He did one with a wrestler recently, a wrestler by the name of Shelton Benjamin, and
Mm.
the video was so funny because he was like, "Do you wrestle against the white man?" And he was just like, "Yeah, sometimes, sometimes." No, 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 no. That should be illegal. Ah, no, no, no. It was like, oh my god! It was
I love
like,
that for him.
how do you do such a thing? It was ridiculous. But to get back on track, have you ever had an instant where you were the bad guy, but you really weren't?
I don't know. I have a skewed view of reality. So even if folks think I'm the bad guy, I don't care. It's
Lord have
like,
mercy.
and I want he's like, oh, that's not nice. Okay. For me, most of the time is I've said something and be like, oh my god, why would you say that? That's not nice. I'm just like, am I
Okay,
wrong?
stop. You're not. You know that's fair. That is
Am I wrong? That's all the times I'm the bad guy is if I say something that no one else is gonna say. Like,
that's fair.
and my family get mad at me for it. I'm like, that's not my problem. I just
That's
said it
just
because I
not
didn't
my
want anyone else saying it.
problem. That's just not my
That's
problem.
just not my
My
problem. And
problem.
it's not. It's not my problem. It's your problem. Y'all should have said.
Okay, so before we get into our next section, because I didn't forget, I said we were gonna come back to this. So before we get into our next section,
They did.
what the hell was you talking about? You and your coworker used to play people in Uno for free waffles?
Hmm. At night, it's very. I don't work there anymore, so I don't care. I haven't worked there in like 4 years. So what they gonna do? Anyway, of course, the strike went on with Waffle House. You have to pay for your food, but they said we can eat as many waffles as we want. So if we can eat them, we was like, shit, give them away. So overnight, we didn't want to get that many customers anyway.
Okay.
So if we were like a person would come in, like a younger person would come in like by themselves or something, we was like, we'd be over there playing Uno. They're like, what y'all doing? Playing Uno. They're like, ooh. I'm like, you want to play? If you win, we'll get you a free waffle.
Mm-mm-mm.
People weren't winning, but you know.
That's crazy.
I think one person won, one guy one time. Like, all right, that's fair enough. What kind of waffle you want, bro? I got you.
That's crazy. And then you gave them the waffles with options. Didn't even just give them a
Mm-hmm.
plain waffle. You gave them an option. You gave them an option waffle.
Like, you want chocolate chip? I got the blueberries. I can bust out the peanut butter pieces in the
Nah,
fridge.
nah, nah. Give me the pecans, and I'll be happy,
All right, there. We stay pecans on deck.
bro. I'll admit, I didn't realize that was a thing with like pecan waffles and pecan pancakes until my
Mm-hmm.
cousin from Savannah. I'll never forget. I want to say I was like 13, 12, 13, 14, somewhere in there. He came to visit from Savannah, and he asked if he could get. He asked my mom if he could get some pecans in his waffle or in his pancake because we have a pecan tree. My parents have a pecan tree in their backyard. They always would get multiple 5 gallon buckets worth of pecans. So they would get them sent out, shelled, and they would get them back in like the little bags, in like the preserved bags.
Nice.
So he asked my mom like, "Hey, can you do like put some pecans in them for me?" And so after that, I tried it, loved it. So then the following time my mom made pancakes, I asked her if she would, and of course she wouldn't just do it for me. She was like, "You're gonna have to split them yourself. I ain't gonna split them for you." And I was like, "What's the point of me asking you to do it then?"
Just so she can cook them.
Right?
You gotta do that
No,
as
if
a
I
prep.
gotta do it, I'll cook it myself then. Dang,
All right.
like tell me to do that. But fun times, good first opening section. I love those moments where someone is considered the bad guy but they're not. Had there ever been a moment where you were the bad guy and you actually weren't the bad guy? Let us know in the comments. Let us know on our socials. Let us know somehow or another. But yeah, that's our first section. We're gonna get into our next section, which is our Would You Rather of Le Week. And this week's Would You Rather is actually one I don't know why I thought of this, but like I thought about like I think it might be because we went to see the Beetlejuice movie recently. Well, not recently. It's been almost a month and a half at this point, or like a month
Yeah.
at this point. But so yeah, kind of spoilers. Something happens where like some people in a plane accident, the whole thing. Um, so the would you rather is would you rather be stuck on an island for the rest of your life by yourself or with someone that you hate? So either way, you're stuck on the island for the rest of your life. You will be stuck on the island, but you'll be able to have everything that you need to survive. You'll have like shelter. You'll have food. You might not have internet access, but you'll have the necessities to be able to survive for the rest of your life. Would you rather it be by yourself or with a person or with like a person that you hate? And that could be anybody. So that ranges from like celebrities, prominent figures to the person that's down the street at the corner store.
I see.
Huh?
I want to say it would probably take a person I hate just for the social interaction. Being a recluse will make you look crazy. At least if I'm there with a person I hate, I can dog you out all the time.
You know what?
I get some type of social interaction. Like, bro, fuck you.
That's fair. That is actually
That's not one me coming out my house once a day, bro. Fuck you. Right. I'm
it's
going
fun.
back home.
It's funny that you say that because that is almost to a T the exact same reason I would have said I was gonna say the same thing. That it'd be with somebody I hate, just so I could come out and be like, you know what, you a bitch, fuck you, and I'll just walk off.
That's it.
Or just randomly, like let's say I got like a coconut or something,
I'm
just
gonna throw
randomly
it.
just, ooh, he don't need to see me coming. Bam!
Yeah.
It's just like, oh,
That's
what the hell? Fuck you.
it.
Walk
That's
off.
it.
And just walk off. Look,
That's it.
have him coming up to me talking about something. Why do you hate me so much? Because fuck you. That's why. I don't
Why
have to
are you
justify
asking me
why I
questions? Stop
hate you.
talking to me.
The fact that we're on this island together, it means that God has a sense of humor. Because why would He put me with somebody that I hate? Fuck
Right.
you.
Put a
And then I'd
dog
walk
around the
off
stand.
again.
Don't cross it.
And the whole time I would just keep walking off. Every time he tried to come up and talk to me, just walk off.
Just walk in complete circle
I would walk around the
across the
island.
island.
I would literally walk around the island before I spend more than like 10 minutes talking to them. I just think, well, why wouldn't
10
you
minutes.
talk to me? Man, fuck you.
Why do you want to talk to me? Answer that. That's a better question. Why do you want to talk to me?
Right. It's just like I thought I think I saw a monkey over there in the trees. Go talk to it.
Right. I'm pretty sure it's a tiger over there waiting to maul you. Monkey will figure that out.
Oh man,
Go read between the lines.
ah God. Okay, so then to further expand on it, who do you think would be your person?
I will not address such a person because me and my best friend have agreed never to say such a name.
Dang, dang.
Yeah.
I feel like
There's
you
that.
already know who. I feel like you already know who I'm gonna choose.
Lord. You still gotta say it for the peoples.
James from Shits and Gigs.
I still have not seen a single video since all that joint popped off.
Neither have
Not a
I.
single one.
Neither have I, and
You
I'm
blocked
happy
them
about it.
anyway?
Huh?
I haven't seen them or another. I'm not gonna talk about because that's gonna lead to that's gonna lead us to a whole another tangent.
We'll talk about it
So,
after. We'll
right.
talk about it after. But yeah, 100% would be him. I would bully him if we were trapped on an island together. I would actively bully him. And like I would make him think that I was starting to warm up to him, and then I would kick him into the water. Like I would wait, like I think I'd make him start to like warm up to me or think that I'm warming up to him. Wait until he like goes out to sea level or like down to the beach to try to look out over the water. I just drop kick him into the water just to be like, fuck
Another
you
thing to
again.
do to keep yourself entertained.
Yeah, fuck
Just
you
throw him in the
again.
water all the time.
Every time he goes into his little hut, I'd knock over one of the walls. Or I would slowly start taking pieces off the ceiling, off the roof, so he has a hole in his roof.
No, you gotta start taking pieces from random places so they randomly get holes everywhere.
Facts. Look, go
And
into
then
his hut, into his little
one more
bed.
thing.
Look, go into his hut and find his little bed. Take his blanket. Just like, I know you have my
What
blanket. No,
you
you don't. How you know I
what you
got your
do is
blanket?
you go in his hut, find his bed, dig a hole under the bed, put the bed specifically over the hole very carefully, so when he go to lay down, he falls into the hole.
You're right. You're right.
Classic trap.
Leave a trap
Now, not
for
only
him.
do you have to dig yourself out the hole, you gotta fill the hole back in or move your bed.
You're right, cause
And
you
you move
know I
that bed,
look.
you gotta move your whole little hut.
Cause I'm not keeping the dirt in the hut. I'm moving the dirt out of the hut.
Right. I'm gonna make a moat around your hut.
That would be okay. You know what? I would stay up all night to make a hut, so that way, as soon as he opens his door, he just falls, just like
Yeah.
another and I would make it specifically just high enough to where he can't climb out,
I'm crying.
and he would have to ask me for help. I
And then I'm
would
gonna sit there and laugh at you for 5 minutes
I
before I.
I would specifically dig it just deep enough to where he would have to ask for help to get out. And then I would stand over him and I would fart.
Then I'm gonna throw you a rock.
And
So you can
then
step
and
on it.
and then I might give
Just
you
so I can have something to do tomorrow. So I can continue to torture you tomorrow. Because if you
oh,
die on day one, it's not fun anymore.
you're right. And that would be part of and that would literally be part of my like why I keep you around or like why I don't just end you in your sleep because it's just like then I'd have nothing better to do. I'd just be here by
Right.
myself.
And you're my entertainment for the day.
Like
Like, why would I go
you
in the
are
phone with
my entertainment.
right,
That
you're
is
my
all you
daily
are.
show. Like, wait for the season finale. It's gonna be great.
Right. Just like, oh, just wait. I figured out how to make it's just like I figured out how to make fire so that way I don't have to spark rocks next to each other. I can just whoosh. That is gonna be fun. I would suggest you start stockpiling on water now.
Yeah.
And he's just like, what do you mean by that? You should know what I mean by that. And if you don't,
Like, just
clearly you are not that smart.
I would just every day give him some random piece of advice, like, hey, don't be here at sunset. What do you mean? Do not be in this exact spot at sunset. Why? What's gonna happen? Be
Be
at
in
this
this
spot at
spot and
sunset,
find
and you go
out.
find out. You go find out what happened.
Oh,
Nothing's gonna happen.
just make him anxious and
Nothing
nervous the
happens.
whole time. Look,
I'm now psychological
sneak
terror.
sneak into his hut and just sit there and stare at him until he wakes up, and then just be there, staring.
I
So,
told you not to be.
look, soon as he wakes up, I told you, do not be in this hut. Come sunrise, big boy. Look,
Like you didn't tell me that.
it don't
Listen, babe.
matter. It don't
You
matter.
listen. You should have read my mind and knew not to be here. This is
Look.
my hut that I
Oh, just like you can escape a lot of things in life, but you'll never be able to escape me.
but you can escape.
Oh,
Studio audience, what do you think?
Mm, wait, what was the question again?
would you rather be stuck on an island for the rest of your life by yourself or with someone that you hate? So you get everything that you need to survive, all your necessities, but you're either by yourself or you're with someone that you hate.
By myself, because I don't hate anybody.
Boo!
Oh,
I
Where's
don't
the
hate.
fun in that?
alright. You find someone to hate.
Bro, then you know what you can do? You can literally like just run up to him, smack him upside the head, and keep running.
Right.
Look,
That's exercise.
randomly see them sitting on the beach, run up to them, kick sand in their face, run the other direction.
You can pocket sand them forever.
Infinite pocket sand. Oh my god, that's wonderful.
I
Has
do.
anyone else been seeing that meme that's like, you think everything's all good, then boom, brick from my pocket.
Yeah,
It's like,
I could do the enemy because I could.
but you just say you don't hate anyone.
I could. You said choose someone.
That's
I chose someone. I was psychologically messing with them.
See?
Make them think they're going crazy.
and you would do that. You would be the perfect person.
Oh yeah.
Oh heck no, that no, because you know exactly what to tell you. Nah,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm-mm.
that I don't want. Like, imagine that kind of psychological torture
Yeah,
from him. Nah,
yeah. Nah,
nah,
but
bro, you got that.
you're on to something with the pocket sand thing. I would randomly just come up to him every day and be like, "Hey, man, hey, I got a question. I found a thing of chickens, and they're able to lay eggs and everything. So if we keep it up, pocket sand." Then as they're like scrambling, I'd be like, "Man, fuck you again, and stay away from my chickens."
There are
Oh, cause I'd be serious about the chicken. I would be 100% serious. I'd be like, yeah, no, yeah, I got like 8 chickens over there, and like at least 5 of them lay eggs.
right. And what you got, duck? Nothing.
He's like, oh, you got a duck. Oh, you got a duck. I didn't even know ducks flew this far. Pocket sand. My duck now, nigga.
Like, that's a cool duck. I like that duck. Let me see that.
Pocket
This is
sand.
my duck now.
Woo. Look.
You're mean.
Cook some meat and then throw it on them while it's still hot. So that way, look. They still get food, but you burn them in the process.
Be like, hey, oh, you gave me food. Be like, what'd you throw me? I threw you some food. Oh, thank you. What is it? Yo, duck.
Yes, absolutely.
It is. I.
It's your duck.
That'd be messed up. It's your duck. I gave it back like you wanted, baby.
Mm-mm-mm. A tragedy. Oh, that's a tragedy. Huh, I love it. I love it. I love the hater energy that we give. It makes me
But
feel all warm and fuzzy on the insides.
like, it
Listen,
helps me sleep at
2020,
night.
2024 is the year of the hater, okay? And Kendrick, and I say it and I'll continue to say it, Kendrick Lamar 100% has made me realize I'm not living up to my full hater potential. And I need to do better.
There's just no one around, so
You're right. I'll give you that.
it's hard to be a hater when there's no one to hate from.
I feel that. I feel that. But you'll find
What
somebody.
else we got?
And we'll move on after you find somebody. But we're going to do our anime discussion of the week. But this is going to be a little twist. Because this is going to be more of a recap. Because I have recently gotten into a new anime. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. Now this anime is a little bit older.
That
I won't say it's a little older. It's a couple years old at this point.
yeah.
Let's see. When did... Let's see. No. Not the toy. Let's see. Okay, so that time I got reincarnated as a slime came out in 2018 in Japan. So
Okay. Not bad.
I just now recently got into it because I have a coworker who he's on his anime journey, and after watching, I want to say it was after completely finishing Hunter x Hunter, he decided to get into that time I got reincarnated as a slime. He has almost caught up. I think all but like 2 episodes he's caught up on. And he was like, bro, you have to watch it. It's such a great show. I think you would really like it. I sat down. I started watching it. I think it is great. I don't remember the guy's name in the real world. Because in the very first episode, done. You don't even remember the dude's name after the first episode. Because in the very first episode, I want to say within the first 5 minutes of the freaking show, he gets stabbed and he dies.
That's kind of funny.
Within the first like 5 minutes. So that is a spoiler for anybody that hasn't watched. The rest of this is going to be spoilers. There's going to be a lot of spoilers. Not a lot, but like the first, at least the first couple episodes are going to be kind of spoiler heavy because it sets up the world. First episode, he meets one of his coworkers. He meets the coworker's wife or like fiance, and they're going to get dinner. Stabbed. Like a random dude just runs up and like stabs him, and like he's bleeding out on the ground. And the thing about it that makes it really interesting, as he's talking about how he's feeling as he's like dying. So he's like, oh, it hurts so bad. Pain, I think it was like pain mitigation or something like that. Accepted. So like he starts getting all of these effects. So it's just like, oh, I'm so cold. Ice resistant or like cold resistant, accepted. And it's just like, oh, I never got to do this, and this. Great sage effect activated. Like, so he starts getting all of these effects, and so he dies. He comes back into this new world. He's now a slime. He's literally just a little ball of slime. The way it make it seem, he's only about yay big. But he's a slime, and he can't really like he can see, but he hasn't doesn't have any eyes, and he doesn't have like
Mm.
ear holes or a mouth or anything. But so like he figured out how he can like do things. He figured out how he can move. He's in a cave. In the cave, he meets a dragon. The dragon's name is Veldora. He's the great elemental dragon. He was the like powerful dragon that was known for years and years and years before. Like he was like big powerful dragon until he got trapped and he got put in the cave inside of a magic seal. But we come to later find out that just his presence in that cave, in that seal alone, was enough to keep all of the creatures of the forest in check. So like all of the other magical creatures were kept in check because the dragon was just there. So the dragon, the slime, they become friends.
That's
The dragon is like, oh, I'll never be able to get out of here. I don't know how I'm going to be able to get out of here. The slime is like, well, I have this ability that basically it'll allow me to eat you and you'll be inside of me, but you won't die, but I'll still be able to like help you get out, essentially. So, but before they do that, they actually give each other names because in this reality, in this new world, having a name is a way that you get a lot more power. Like your power grows because you have a name and you're able to get more power and evolve because you have a
mm.
name. So the dragon, his name was Veldora. Veldona? Veldora. He named the slime Rimuru. The slime gives the dragon Veldora Tempest. His name becomes Veldora Tempest. So with that, the dragon is like, you know what? I like that. We will have that name. We'll have that name together. So your name is now going to be Rimuru Tempest. And
Oh,
that's why, if you've ever heard that name in like anime discussion, Rimuru Tempest, that's that. So get the dragon, puts him inside of him. He basically learns about the dragon and all the things that he does. He goes out throughout the cave. He finds other creatures. He absorbs those creatures after he kills them, and he gets their abilities. He gets the ability to be able to transform into these creatures. And so you later, like, you find out that he had, like, basically anything that he can do it because of, like, his own ability. Like, whenever he takes something, he takes, like, a poisonous centipede or whatever, he gets poison abilities. He takes a poisonous snake. Now he has the ability to be able to like bite things and like poison them. He's able to like use like a water slicer because he spent time on the water. He spent time on the water and learned how to like jet propulse himself with the water. So now he has like a water sword that he can like blast out water slices out of
Mm.
himself. Like he's very OP. But the thing that I like about this show a lot is that even though he is OP as a character, he is very powerful. He literally just had like power on top of power on top of power. He can literally like he can absorb something, figure out how it's made by absorbing it, take the materials, absorb those materials, and then make copies of that thing that he made. Because when he takes it into himself, he can analyze it, figure it out, and then recreate it. So
I was gonna say he's a human copier, but he's not a human. He's a
he's
slime.
a slime now, yeah. So he finally manages to escape. He goes out into the forest and he runs into a group of goblins. Long story short, he's trying to help bring peace among the land. That's kind of the whole gist of what's going on. He helps the goblins because the goblins were being attacked by a group, basically werewolves, and Rimuru killed the leader of the werewolves, killed the leader of the werewolf. I'm talking like literally in front of all of them. Killed them and then absorbs him in front of all of them. And his right hand man, Rimuru Tempest's right hand person, which is one of the wolves, was the son of the wolf that he killed. And he asked him, he was like, "Don't you hate me or have any kind of resentment that I killed your dad?" And the wolf basically was like, at one point, at first, he was like, "No, at first I kind of did, but you gave me a name, you made me more powerful, so
So you good.
I don't have any more resentment to harbor for you." And the thing that I really like about this, because even though it's a battle anime, it's a shonen anime, the main character does not want to fight. 9 times out of 10, if he can resolve something peacefully, he will. Like he tries. In fact, the only reason he even killed the wolf is because he straight up was like, "I do not want to fight you. Leave now and never return, or there will be problems." And he tried to like scare them off. And the one wolf was like, "No, screw you. I'm not about to bow down to some slime." So he has to kill him. He takes his form, and then he takes the form of the wolf and was like, "Look, either y'all like leave us alone or you join us. Either way, you're done." And they all were just like, "Well, I guess we're joining y'all."
You don't have a choice.
And so they all decided to join. And I haven't gotten too far into the show. I don't even think I've finished the first season yet. But I will say that as of right now, early reactions, I wouldn't put it in my top 10 yet.
Okay.
But early reactions, I would say story is a 9. Easy is an easy 9 out of 10. Characters,
Okay.
easy 8.5 out of 10. Just because, and the only reason I don't give it a higher score is because there's so many characters that sometimes I'm like, I kind of forget. And like they introduced a lot of characters. They every episode it feels like we're meeting somebody new. And so that's why I'm like, I want to give it higher, but there's so many I'm kind of forgetting. Animation style is beautiful to me. That, in my opinion, is like a 9, maybe like a 9.1, because it's not
Mm-hmm.
it's not to the level of like My Hero going into like
Mm-hmm.
the later seasons of My Hero,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still something that like when I sit down and I watch it, I'm just like, dang, this looks great. Dang, I like this. It's one of those. Um,
Uh, okay.
yeah, yeah. So I think if you were to ever decide that you wanted to watch it, I think you would have a good time. I think
Hmm.
it's on Hulu, so you got a Hulu.
Love that.
You can watch it
Of
on
course, I
there
have Hulu.
because that's where I'm watching it. I think it's also on Crunchyroll, but
I got that too.
yeah. Do you have High Dive?
No, I don't.
Because I'll admit, one of my comfort animes is on High Dive, and I got a High Dive account specifically so I could watch it as it was as it because it came out this year. Like the manga's been out, but the anime
Mm.
itself just came out this year. And even when it was still in manga form, it was like my comfort manga just because I don't know. I don't. I'll admit. I will 100% admit the entirety of it is fan service. Every single episode is fan service. I will throw my hands up and I'll admit that right now. But I still find it's just an interesting. I can turn my brain off and watch it and just enjoy it for what it is
Okay,
because it's
that's fair. That's fair.
silly. It's silly. It shouldn't work as well as it does, but it's really awesome. And I don't know because I know I'm going to be judged for it if I admit to what it is. Do you want to know or should I just?
Go ahead. Share with the people. Share with the class.
So the English
Fans of the
name
show.
of it is plus sized elf.
You talked about this before.
Yes, and
You talked about
I
this show.
have. It's because it's my comfort anime. It is. Well, it's one of my comfort animes, but this
That's
one is more so in the
very
sense
telling.
of like Because, like I said, I can turn my brain off and just watch it and just be like, "Ha, that's funny. Ha, that's cute. Oh, titties. Ha, that's still funny." Like it's literally a good turn my brain off watch. I genuinely I do enjoy it. Um, like I said, as a concept, it shouldn't work, but it still works really well in my opinion. That wasn't the anime that I was talking about in this one, but I just because it came up, we were talking about the different anime. Why are there so many anime watching services? Like, it's irritating sometimes.
I
Like,
mean, hopefully they'll combine them. They'll figure it out.
but
Maybe.
that's the
Who
thing.
knows?
We don't want it to be a monopoly, but at the same time, it's like if I gotta cough up $4.99 for every streaming service that has anime on it just so I can watch the various animes, I'm not gonna have a good time anymore. I'm not. I'm not having a good time.
It's been fun.
Also, shout out to my friend Nathan because I'm still using his Disney Plus account that he let me use. And like I have a profile under his account, so like he lets me use it. It's not like oh he just gave me the password and I've just been using it all these years. No, like I have a profile on his thing. And just all these years later, I'm still using it. Shout out to him because he
Hey,
a real
yeah,
one.
they heard Disney cracking down on that.
He a real one for letting me still use it. Cause I've had a profile on his since he first opened the account. Cause we were classmates and we did projects in our classes together. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't still be able to watch a lot of my favorite Disney Channel shows and movies. So shout outs to him because he was awesome. But yeah, that concludes that section because truthfully, I've kind of been all over the place with the animes. One of these
Fair.
one of these days we'll come to a true neutral of what anime discussion we're gonna have for the week. A little peek behind the curtain. I write all the scripts except for the Am I the Asshole, and I get no input of them by my lovely co-host. She don't give me no kind of input. She don't even be like, oh, I thought of a would you rather this week that we could do. Like she don't do none of that. She just pulls up
Listen,
and joins the call and then talks trash about the things that I like.
well, what you want me to do? You want me to write the script next week?
No, I don't. But I would
Too
like,
bad.
but I'd like you to do some input. So like when you see that
Too
I
bad.
do,
I'm gonna write next
and
week.
I'm
How
gonna
about that?
change, and I'm gonna change everything.
You better damn not.
All
I'm gonna get it. It's gonna be lit.
right, we'll
Don't
we'll
even
see. You know
worry
what?
about it.
You know what? That might actually be next week. You know what? That might even be next
We
week's episode. If you write next week, that'll be next week's episode. Kristal
bet.
wrote this episode. That'll be the title of next week's episode. If you actually write the script for episode
I'm actually
26.
gonna write it. I'm
Okay.
gonna write it. I'm
Okay.
gonna be off. I'm gonna write it.
Okay. Bet.
I'm gonna put this degree to work.
bet. Bet.
Yeah, yeah.
But all
It's
right,
gonna be a money trip. I got an idea. I got ideas and everything. Don't even worry about that.
I bet. We'll see. Let's go. But
Yeah.
we're going to get into our penultimate episode or our penultimate section of the episode. I do that every single time. Um, it is our shit for a shot section. Today's shit for a shot comes in the form of this Power Ranger shot glass, one of my favorites out of our collection. It's the Red Ranger from the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Uh, I, I'm taking a shot of gin because I'm trying to get rid of the gin. Like I have
Fair.
some, it's like some Japanese, like the Japanese gin. It comes in like one of those like like not a hexagon, but it's like one of those. It's like six. It's almost six sided. Like one, two, three, one, two, three, four, five. Yeah, six sided, like a six-sided bottle.
Mm.
I'll show you the next time. I'll show you the next time you come over, and
That.
hopefully by then I'll be done with it. I said it last week, but I actually mean it this time. I'm gonna be live tweeting because I need to email Old Yankees the Bandito vodka.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Bandito tequila. I need to
Yeah.
message them. I'm gonna email them and see would they be willing to sponsor? Because I'd love, honest to God, if they sponsored us, I would do shit for a shot with their
With the
tequila.
tequila.
I would. But all of that to get into it, the shit for a shot. Our shit for a shot this week. This comes from another TikTok that I saw because I basically spend all my free time on TikTok.
Yeah.
But it stems from a TikTok of a woman who's driving in her car. She had her dash cam. A car
I know exactly what
swerved
you're talking
over
about.
into the lane in front of her, put on the brake. She slammed on brake, doesn't hit them. Then they back up into her and then tried to act like, oh my God, you ran into us. Literally, even in the video, you see another car pull up in front of it, and you see the original driver who switched seats, by the
Mhm.
way. If you look in the video, you can see them like throw up a trash bag in the back window. So that way you
Mm.
can't tell that they're switching seats.
Oh,
So
that's
they
crazy.
get out and they're trying to like, oh, they're taking pictures. They're like, oh, look at this. Oh, they're trying to act so hurt. But there's the
Right.
specific moment that you see in the video where he realizes that she had the dash cam.
Yep.
And he's just like, oh, they got a dash cam. Hey, we gotta go. And it's like, bro, it's too late
Mhm.
at that point because I already got your license plate.
Got your license plate and your faces.
I got your license plate. I got your faces. I know exactly where we were at. In fact, if you decide to try to drive off, I'm following you.
Yeah,
I'm calling the police and I'm following you.
we got the gas today.
But just, I got the gas for it today, big dog. Cause like I just don't understand. And the crazy part, and I'll say this, the crazy part is I had always from even back when I first got my license, I heard about like, oh, you gotta be careful because you know some people are trying to insurance scam, they'll try to insurance fraud you, blah 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 blah. I myself have never been in a situation like that. I've heard about it, I've seen stories, I've read stories, I've seen reports of it, but like I've never seen it. And to see it in that video, I don't know why it pissed me off so bad because I'm like, especially knowing I'd have a dash cam because I'm gonna get one probably with my next paycheck.
Mm.
I'm gonna get a dash cam, and my whole thing is like, don't do that. And then once you realize I have a dash cam, try to be like, ooh, I can't do that no more. No,
You
because
already did
now
it.
what I'm about to do is I am about to get out and I'm about to put five on all of y'all's head. Cause what the
Mhm.
fuck do you mean you gonna back up into my car to try to file a claim?
Like that's so dumb.
It's so dumb. It is so dumb. Like at that point, go get a job. Like why don't you have a fucking job?
Right. And like why would you now you done mess up your own car for that?
Done messed up your own car for what? Especially because now that the video is out there, now that the video is out there, the insurance company gonna see it and be like,
Yeah, no.
now
You
we
on
gotta
your
pay out
own.
of pocket to fix their shit. Now we gonna
Right.
charge you quadruple because of it.
Cause once you commit insurance fraud, once they find out you trying to commit insurance fraud, they gonna get you.
Oh, they
They
gonna get you
might
for
just kick you off.
everything.
Yeah.
They gonna get you for every. They gonna get you for everything that the claim was worth, everything that you're worth, everything that the thing that you own is worth. They gonna get you for all of it. You
Every
you
single thing you own.
you gonna mess around and have to sell a kidney to be able to pay them back, cause woof.
Mhm.
But them insurance companies do not play.
Not at all.
But like I don't understand it because
People are
there's
just dumb.
people are very dumb. People are 100% very dumb, and it's just one day they'll get enough of it. You know, one day they'll
No,
get
they won't.
enough and they'll figure it out. But until then, keep getting dash cams, keep doing dash cams. Cause again, I just don't understand, and that's why, and that's another reason why I keep a mini bat in my car with me. So if I gotta get out, if I gotta defend myself. Nah, it's because I think I've told this story. Like I used to work overnight at the news station, and you know
Yeah.
downtown Macon got a real bad homeless people
Yeah.
problem. So back then they didn't have a fucking gate around the fucking parking lot, so there were just homeless people just walking around. So I'd have my mini bat just in case one of them tried to come up and try something. I'd like
Yeah. I
just
ain't got nothing. I got the bottle I'm drinking out of now or a can of air freshener. That's what I got in my car.
I mean, hey, can of air freshener.
It's one of them small, like it's actually like a refill of one of those like things. But I
Ah.
show it's got some weight on it. I'll clock you with.
I mean, if you put one of them little nozzles on it, still be able to like, ah,
Or I might take one of the things out the. I think I got a jack in the back.
Ma'am, do you think you're gonna have time to get to the jack in the back? You
Actually, I got
need
jumper
something.
cables in the back seat.
You need something that you be able to grab and go.
I got jumper cables in the back seat.
Not you finna.
Loose.
Not you finna choke somebody out with the jumper cables.
Bink.
All right, David. Out here trying to slingshot somebody with the freaking.
With the jumper cables. If that don't work, I, I don't know. I'm gonna run you over.
Ma'am, you are living in fantasy world right now.
Listen, I gotta do something. I'll
That's
take off for you.
that's fair, but that just is irritating. But we're gonna that was some shit, and this is the shot. So I'm gonna take this shot, cause that was some shit. Huh. Oof.
Ooh,
That dry.
yes.
That shit kind of dry. But you
Draft.
know what? It ain't. It's not nearly as dry as some of the wine that we had on the cruise earlier this year.
Ooh.
Bro, we had one that we thought we would like, but that bitch was so goddamn dry. I was like,
See, that's why I'm not a wine person. I don't drink that.
oh, I
I don't
love me
drink
some wine.
none of
To
it.
to be honest, I don't even mind dry wine. Just I have to be in a mood for it. Like I can drink a dry wine. I just got to be in the mood for it. But with that, we're going to get into our last section of today's episode. I'm almost 100% positive that it is Kristal's favorite section of the episode, and that's because it is entitled Am I the Asshole? As read by Kristal. So, with that being said, I'm going to hand the reins of today's episode over to Miss Kristal so that way she may read our Am I the Asshole?
I'm gonna keep it. I went to a wedding this past weekend, so this inspired the Am I the Asshole? Wedding themed. You had your wedding anniversary last week or the other week, then this one. So
Okay.
wedding themed.
Wedding
So
theme.
we love it. It's wedding season.
Absolutely.
I actually had a friend from high school get married the other week too.
Hey, I think I had a friend from college get married. I want to say like last week before last, the weekend. So the weekend before, so the weekend leading up to my anniversary. I think he
The
ended
wedding
up. I think he
weekend.
ended up getting married. So
It's wedding season.
listen, September, October. Apparently, according to, and I'll say this, according to my wedding planner back from last year, apparently
Hmm.
like September, October is like the heaviest and like one of the busiest parts of the year for her, just because of the fact
Hmm.
that like everybody's trying to get that it's not too hot, not too cold. It's like right in that in between,
Hmm.
and it's just like perfect. The colors are nice. It's the whole thing.
All right.
I remember it was.
All right.
I remember it was hot that day.
A little warm.
It was very warm. I mean, it didn't
A
help.
little
I was
warm.
drinking, but
All right. So,
alrighty.
am I the asshole for not going to my friend's wedding? Wedding is in quotes after what she said to me.
Ooh, for wait. So wedding in quotes.
Yeah. Am I not going? Am I the asshole for not going to my friend's wedding after what she said to me?
Huh.
That's what it says.
So that sound so I wonder if that means that it wasn't like a wedding in the sense of traditional, but it was more like, oh, we just met at the courthouse and did the courthouse wedding thing. I wonder um I need to know more context. Depending on what was said, they might still
Hmm.
be the asshole, but also depending on what they said, they're not the asshole. So it all depends on what was said before I can really give you a yay or nay on the asshole thing.
Okay. Audience.
Mm, undecided as well. But
That's
if I had to choose, it would be not.
okay. Let's get into it.
Okay.
A few months ago, a friend of mine told me she was getting married. It wasn't meant to be a regular wedding, more of an elopement kind of thing. We were supposed to be, it was supposed to be her, the groom, me as a maid of honor, and a best man, plus a few close family members, about 10 people in total, and it was planned for early November. I say wedding like that in the title because there will be no invites, no save the date, no ceremony, no walk down the aisle, just courthouse and dinner that comes from the bride herself. I'm not
Called
guessing
it.
anything.
Called it. Sorry, I just
Either way, a wedding is what they make it.
yeah, yeah. A wedding
You know,
is exactly what you make it. But I knew the way to the quotation. I was like, oh, that just means it's okay.
but even as she proclaimed, she's the maid of honor.
And that's where I'm like leaning into the asshole territory. You're starting to lean into the asshole territory. You were the maid of honor. But please
Right. Yeah.
continue.
Right. A week ago, I got the news that I had gotten a permanent job. I don't know how to explain it because it's a very typical thing from my country, Spain, where every so often the government will hire professionals to work either in the administration or in public institutions, education, high school. This is usually a great opportunity because these positions are for life, well, until you retire, and they can never fire you. In order to apply for these positions, you have to take an exam, and then, depending on your years of service to the institution and the score you get on the exam, you can get one of those jobs. Long story short, I took my exam last year, and last week I got told I got one of the jobs, but I will be moving cities for that. When I told my friend this, the only thing she said is, "When are you leaving? Can you still come to my wedding?" No congratulations, no I'm happy for you, nothing. I must add, 2 weeks ago, I talked to her to know where we were having dinner for her wedding, and she said she didn't have anything planned yet, let alone booked. Had she told me she had everything booked and that she really needed my RSVP, I would have understood her answer. But in that context, I've decided that if the only thing she cares about is her and her wedding, and she can't be happy for me, I'm not going to the wedding. Am I the asshole?
Yes. Um. Okay. So, and I say that as somebody who has been through the wedding planning because even in this small setting like this where she was like, oh, it's only going to be like 10 people, it still sounds like the bride is going through the stresses of preparing everything still. And I will say this till I'm purple in the face. I 100% understand where the other friend is coming from, where it's like, dang, you can't even give me a congratulations or like congrats on this opportunity. Nothing is immediate. Oh well, when do you leave? Da 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 da. Like I'm not gonna lie, I would feel hurt too. But at the same time, I'm not just gonna completely be like, man, flub this. I'm leaving. I'm not gonna be a part of the wedding. I would have a
Right.
conversation. I'd be like, hey, I mean, I don't leave until such and such, but like, is that all you're concerned with? Like, I just told you about a really big opportunity for me, and I was hoping that you would have been a little bit more excited, considering we are friends, and I'm excited for you and your wedding. So I would hope that you would be excited for me. You
I mean,
know?
that's fair. But again, I kind of see more on the bride side. It's like, yeah, it's not like the huge wedding everybody else playing, but still, she, like you said, she's going through that wedding stress. And if the maid of honor,
And again,
don't
that's
say
why I
like, "Oh,
say,
I'm moving," like, why would you move when my wedding is like, next week? Why are you moving now? What am
and
I gonna
that's
do?
and that goes back into the what I was saying as far as like, had they had that conversation of, okay, well, yeah, I am moving, but like I'm not moving until such and such and such, and then they could sit down and have that conversation because clearly that neither of them are seeing where the other person is coming from. They only have their own perspective in mind. So that's why
But
I'm
then I also
like,
think I want to say the OP. It didn't say the OP didn't say if they let me go back to it. I had lost it.
oh Lord,
Yeah, they didn't say when they will be moving.
right,
They didn't say where they'd be moving to. They just said they're gonna move
mm,
cities. Like, you could be going to like the next city over.
right,
But then it
or it
made me
could
think
be
like,
like thousands of
did you tell
miles.
your friend where you moving? You just said, "I'm moving." I'm thinking if you tell me I'm moving, I'm thinking you gonna move like this week.
Right. I think had there been the conversation of only, hey, I got this job as a permanent position, boom, period, then that would have left the open air of, oh my gosh, congratulations, blah, 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 blah.
Right,
The
but
way that
because you
she,
said you're moving,
exactly,
that's what set her off.
the way that she worded it makes me think that she said, hey, I'm just letting you know I got this job, I'm getting ready to move. And that shouldn't have
Right,
been how it was broached.
that added stress onto the bride.
Especially if you already know when you're moving and it doesn't conflict when they're having the wedding,
Like, don't even
then
mention
don't
it.
mention that you're moving. Don't even mention
Just
it
say it
until.
afterwards. Like,
So that's why I say that OP is the asshole of this. I do. Are there any comments, any like update, any kind of anything?
um, well, okay. So, y'all, what do you say?
I would say she's the asshole because going back to what Justin said, it's about communication. She didn't take the time to communicate with the bride about the situation. She just decided she was acting off of emotion, not thought. So she was being selfish then.
Yeah.
But I understand where he was coming from. But still, she could have talked about it.
Right. Um, the comments are all in agreement.
That she's the asshole?
Yes,
So the verdict
everyone
is
agrees
asshole.
that she is. Yes, everyone is in verdict. She is asshole because she overreact. She very much overreacted.
Yeah.
Um, she didn't feel. Yeah, it was like, girl, it's a job. She will congratulate you later when she's not thinking about a million things at once. I promise you that.
Because whether
Like,
it's a
she's going.
hundred, and I say this again as someone, I just did it last year. Whether it's 100 people, whether it's 10 people, there is still a bunch that you're thinking about when you're trying to make that day what you want to make it.
Right,
There is
and
a
everyone's.
bunch of
Mm,
stuff. Oh my god. The 48 hours of the like wedding, of like the rehearsal dinner and the wedding, that 48 hours was not even the most stressful part of the entire wedding planning process. Like there was so much. Like I look back now and I'm just like, I don't even really think I got a chance to really sit down and be like, dang, I'm about to get married as much as I really wanted to, because of a lot of things. And a lot of things being like also because my grandma passed away like 2 months before the wedding. Like I didn't really get a chance to like sit down and enjoy the fact that we were getting ready to have a wedding. Then we get to the 48 hours right there at the wedding and it's just like, oh my god, what is
like, it's
happening?
really
Like
time
everything
is
was
here.
like a blur. And literally leading up to the wedding, there was so much to do. I'll say like a week before the wedding. So I was still printing out the pictures for our memorial table. I was making sure that like Ashley knew about the flowers that we were gonna give to put on the table for the memorial table. uh, Double checking with the photographer, double checking to make sure everybody had everything that they needed, which still didn't happen. Making sure that the reservation and the catering was still done for the rehearsal dinner, not even for the actual like reception itself. Making sure that our officiant was proper, making sure that he was still good. What else did I have to do? Double checking our hotel reservations, making sure that everybody was where they were supposed to be for the wedding, making sure everybody knew what time they had to be there for the rehearsal and the rehearsal dinner, because some people still ended up being late. Because nobody wanted to fucking listen to us when we said to hurry up and get on the road. The sooner the better. Because what ended up happening, there was a wreck on I-75. And it backed up traffic like an hour.
Ugh.
It was terrible. We just so happened to manage to get there as it was happening. Like the police were still like getting everything straightened out. Like we literally just so happened to get to it right before they shut down the lanes.
Mm,
Like we
eh,
passed the wreck while it was still fresh. Like
mm,
it was that close we cut it.
mm.
Um then get to the actual like everything like the right before the wedding, before we even left, our roof freaking caved in. Not really caved in, but like we ended up finding out we had a hole in our roof because there was a storm that happened a few days before the wedding, and a branch hit the ceiling and it punched a hole
Mm.
in our. The branch hit the roof and it punched a hole in the roof. It leaked into our ceiling. It was leaking from our ceiling fan when we left to come for the wedding.
Oh,
Yeah, so that was added stress. So I understand. I say all that to say I understand. I understand why the bride to be literally was so busy probably in her mind that she probably heard her go, "Oh, I got a new job. I'm moving cities." And like what she said, she reacted. All she heard was, "Oh, I'm moving cities." And then her mind immediately went, "Oh my God, my maid of honor is might be leaving me. What is about to happen? What am I gonna do? How am I gonna deal with this?"
people in the comments pointed out that she, a lot of people pointed in the comments like, it's a 10-person wedding. So she felt like you were the best person to keep her calm. She valued you so much. She wants you there. Not she don't have no bridesmaids. She's her maid of honor. And now the one person she has there to keep her sane, to keep her stress free, is now gone.
Yep,
They said everybody goes like, "Girl, it's not about you."
it's not.
And some people also pointed out, unless the move was going to affect the wedding, you should not be. You really shouldn't be pressed.
Unless the move was going to affect your ability to be at the wedding, you shouldn't have even said anything.
You shouldn't have.
I really hate that there's not an update for that. I really hate
Yeah, I
that.
look. There's no
I
update.
hate that so badly. I
Maybe in
hate
the
that.
future we'll get an update.
One day, hopefully, we'll get an update. Maybe we'll get an update to some of these other stories too. That'd be fun.
Maybe. Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe you do. You have all the Am I the assholes.
I
You are
do.
the keeper
That
of the Am I the assholes.
I am.
Until next week when it'll be read by me since you're making the script.
Or will it?
I don't know.
We'll choose.
I don't know. Look, I might take up your whole thing. I might get me an adjective ready. I might get
Do that.
I might
Get
get
your
a
adjective ready.
I might get me an adjective ready. I might give you one of my shot glasses so you can do a shit for a shot.
Don't worry. I got plenty of those. I got plenty of chocolates. I got plenty of
That's
them.
gonna be that's
Don't
gonna
even
be
worry about
fun.
that.
That's gonna be fun. Look, she gonna write the script and she gonna tell me on the script what she's doing and what she's not.
She's like, shut up. Don't worry about it. I got it.
Literally, look. And if she does, I'll get a screenshot of it and I'll post it and be like, "See, I told y'all. I
Like,
told y'all
don't
she
worry
wrote
about
it. I told y'all she wrote this in."
it. Exactly. That's true.
Oh,
Fun times.
fun stuff, fun times, man. You ready to wrap things up?
Let's wrap it up. Keep it nice and smooth.
Before we wrap it up, as tradition that I'm gonna try to make tradition, I'm gonna finish my drink before we get on out of here. I'll admit, not a lot of it, but some of it had settled down into the bottom. So like,
Good, smooth, nice stuff.
I got like flavor alcohol.
Nice.
Ugh, it was
Good
fun.
stuff.
But with that being said, we are going to wrap things up. So we're going to go into it as I always do. If you guys have enjoyed today's episode, please do us a favor. Like this, share it somewhere, comment, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed because we need those subscribers. And in fact, I'm gonna one up myself. I said that if we got to 100 subscribers on YouTube and 100 followers on Spotify by the end of the year, I would live react to Food Wars on Twitch. But no, I'm not going to do that. Because what I'm going to do is, if we get 100 subscribers on YouTube, if we get 100 followers on YouTube, I'm not gonna just put it on Twitch where it's gonna stream and then it'll just not appear anymore. I am going to do reaction videos. I will make a special playlist right here on YouTube. Sorry, Spotify, you're gonna have to come over to YouTube. I will make a special playlist on YouTube where I will do 2 episodes per video that I post, and I will do a weekly video of me reacting to Food Wars. For you all, for my co-host, because my co-host loves Food Wars. She said I should watch it. She said I should love it.
It's good stuff.
I say it is, and for me, and I know, it's somebody's gonna say it, and I'm gonna say it right here. They're gonna say, "Oh, that's kind of hypocritical. You like a show called Plus Size Elf, but you think Food Wars is too far?" Yes, yes, I do.
No.
Because the simple
No,
fact of
no.
the matter is, yes, they show full frontal titty, but they're not orgasming every other episode. They're just
But
working
they
out.
also show you delicious food, which is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the food. I don't care about the taste. I want to see the food.
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
I'm watching for the food.
So that's the challenge. That is the challenge. If we and I will say this, if y'all don't do it by the end of the year, what's gonna happen is I'll still end up doing the reaction videos, but they're gonna go on our Patreon that we will be starting in 2025. So if you want to get those videos for free, what you got to do is you got to get us 100 subscribers on YouTube, 100 followers on Spotify, and I'll do those videos for free and have them uploaded to YouTube. If not, they're going behind the paywall on Patreon. Simple as that. Follow us on all of our social media. I said it and I spoke about it. We got a YouTube. Of course, you're watching it. You know. We got a Spotify. You're listening. You know. We have a Twitter, an Instagram, a TikTok. I'm not very active on those. I got to give my co-host access so that way she can also cut videos and post and do different posts and stuff for us. Hopefully we'll be able to get more of a team soon, so that way we'll have somebody who can cut up videos for us and have them posted for us and all of that. I'm hoping to get a manager and some other stuff as we go into 2025. Help us get a team together so that way we can have something that starts to get a little bit more concrete. You can follow me everywhere on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Do I have another profile? I think that's really it. I do have a Reddit, but I don't have it linked down below. I'm not going to. If you find me on there, you find me on there. But all of my socials, you can find me at _YoungJB. So that is at _YUNGJAYBEE. But with that being said, please, Miss Kristal, tell the people where they can find you on the socials.
They find me everywhere at Kristal Deshan, KRISTALDESHAN.
Absolutely. But before we wrap things up, we have to say this. Or at least I have to say this because I say it every time. I mean it every time. And I gotta do it because I would feel pretty shitty if I did. If you're a loved one is struggling with alcohol abuse, dial the National Drug and Alcohol Treatment Hotline at 1-800-662-4357. The National Drug and Alcohol Treatment Hotline provides information on alcohol and drug abuse, local treatment options, support through hotline counselors who are there to help speak with you about alcohol, drug, or family problems. Remember, we say it at the end of every episode because we mean it, not just at the end of every episode, but in every single episode, in the entirety of every single episode, that you are loved. You are appreciated, and we are so glad that you joined us right here in this Discord call. We will see you next week for the episode that Kristal writes, episode 26. We will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.